One of them emotionally wrecked me. Hi everyone, my name is Taylor. I will talk to anyone and everyone about books who will listen, and today we're going to be talking about my 5 favorite books from quarter 2 of 2025. So these are my top 5 books from April to June of 2025. I did a video like this already talking about my favorite books from quarter 1 of the year, so definitely go watch that. This one, I feel like I had so many good options, and I'm so upset that I can't talk about some of the ones. Like, I was adding ones that I've read in July because I was like, I love these so much, but July is not quarter 2. So stay tuned for quarter 3 because I feel like I've just been finding so many hidden gems lately and I'm so excited about it. But we have a new background. My bookshelf is over there, which is where I am usually sitting in front of, but it is so hot. Granted, am I in a sweatshirt and sweatpants? Yes. Do I have my air off right now? Because I don't want you to be able to hear it. Also, yes. So really there is no reason for me to be sitting over here because I was gonna sit here because I'm in direct line of the air because I'm hot, but I ended up turning the air off anyway, so literally what was the point in any of this? I don't really know. Anyway, but now you get to see another side of me. You get to see the fangirl side of me. Usually you see the books, now you see the Harry and the BTS. So for quarter 2, I read 30 books. I did not DNF a single one. I'm really surprised. There's one book that I would have loved to have DNF'd, but I didn't because it got sent to me, and I just felt like that would be rude, so I needed to give it a shot. But yeah, I didn't DNF any. Look at me. I'm so proud of myself. I'm actually not proud of myself at all because my problem is I don't DNF books and I need to. So really we're not winning anything here. We're gonna start at number 5. So number 5, I believe, is Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This is the first book in the Rose Hill series. I cannot wait for book 4. I believe book 4 is going to be the final one. I really loved this series. Out of the 3 that are out right now, this is the only one that I gave 5 stars. This is the only one that I ate up. Like, I loved them all, but this one, this man, if you've read any Elsie Silver books, if you've read Chestnut Springs, Cade Eaton, like Cade Eaton is up there for me for Elsie Silver men. Ford Grant is right up there with Cade Eaton. Like, I loved this man so much. I was so obsessed with him. This is in the small town of Rose Hill. Ford is a billionaire. He's a record producer. And then the main girl, Rosie, is that her name? Yes, Rosie. Rosie comes back to town and she is the sister of Ford's best friend. And so this is like brother's best friend. It's a little bit forbidden, but Rosie and Ford have known each other for their entire lives because he's been friends with her brother since they were younger. And they've always kind of had that banter relationship growing up. They were always low-key in love with each other a little bit, but they never admitted it. Just their banter in this, everything about this was perfect. Also, he's a single dad. Did I mention? How did I forget? Billionaire, hot, respectful, single dad, best friend's brother. He's a single dad, but he doesn't realize he's a dad until the girl is 12 years old and she randomly shows up on his doorstep one day and is like, hey, you're my dad. And he's like, oh, that was a different dynamic that I really loved to see. I really loved to see, you know, he's this hard billionaire, but he is like learning how to be a father figure, and he's learning how to be soft for his daughter. And it just seeing their relationship grow because she was also a little hesitant too. Like, I just really loved that dynamic. I loved the found family in this. I loved everything about it. Also, she ends up kind of becoming his personal assistant, and so she works for him at his record label. And overall, this was incredible. I ate this up. I read this when I was in my releasing 10 slump. Snaps me back right away, let me tell you. Number 4, by far the last book in the Windy City series, Rewind It Back. Windy City is one of my favorite sports romances of all time. I think it's probably the most solid sports romance series. What I love about it so much is that they're interconnected. There's multiple different sports in it, but the found family in it is everything. And just they actually do focus on sports a lot, like not an overbearing amount, but there's nothing worse than a sports romance for me anyway, when it's like barely even mentioned. Like, oh yeah, he plays basketball, and then he plays basketball in like one chapter. I'm like, where's the sports romance aspect of that, you know? And I feel like this did that dynamic very well. But this basically follows Hallie and Rio. This is a second chance romance, which is crazy because I typically don't like second chance romance. Basically, this follows them back when they're younger, when they're falling in love, when they're best friends, and then when they're older. Now it's been 6 years since they've broken up, and they're kind of going back and forth between that. So I loved the chapters of them being younger. Like, I loved the ones of them being in present day as well, when they're older and when they're broken up. But when they're younger, seeing them as friends, seeing them fall in love, seeing them just Like, this man was so down bad for her. He was so obsessed with her. I have never in my life seen a man so in love with someone before. You could feel his love for her through these pages, and he was literally Noah Calhoun. You know how in the Notebook he builds her dream home even though they're not together, and he literally waits for her? This is exactly what he did, but like on a lesser scale. He didn't build her a house or anything, but he bought her dream home. Like, they'd been talking about their dream home forever. Like, when they were kids, when they were teenagers, they talked about the home that they wanted to live in together. And now it's 6 years later, he buys this home with her in mind, even though they're separated, even though they're not together. Like, what is going on? And every single date that he goes on within the 6 years that they're separated, he is just constantly thinking about her, and he's constantly comparing every single girl to her. And he's like, why? Like, these girls are fine, like they're great, everything's great about them, they have no problem, but like something isn't right, and it's because they weren't Hallie. And he's so obsessed with her. Oh my god. But basically, in present day, she is an interior designer, and she gets hired to design his house that she doesn't know, but he actually bought for her low-key. So she's kind of designing her own dream home, and it is so good. And this is the most bittersweet ending to the Windy City series. You don't have to read the whole Windy City series, but like, do it. Do it. Genuinely, every single book I've read in that series gets better and better. Like, I read Mile High, loved Mile High, and so many people hate Mile High. Side note, I love Mile High, but like, I read Mile High, loved it. I read Right Move, loved it. I was like, okay, Right Move is my favorite. I read Caught Up's my favorite. I read Play Along's my favorite. Rewind It Back's my favorite. Like, what's my favorite? I don't know. They just get better and better and better, and they're so good. Oh my god, I need to turn the air on for a second so I can turn on turbo. Okay, that's enough. Okay, we're good. Number 3. I have no brain power right now. So I'm going back and forth between my number 2 and my number 3, because one of them emotionally wrecked me. You know what? No, this is a complete lie. This is actually a complete lie. Okay, never mind. This is number 3. So yeah, my number 2 is definitely gonna be number 2. Okay, number 3, The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. The Conditions of Will. Why am I literally malfunctioning? This follows a girl who, she's from a very conservative family in South Carolina. She's kind of like the black sheep of the family. Like, she doesn't agree with a lot of their beliefs. They don't get along. She ends up moving out of the country, and she has nothing to do with her family, really. One day, her father dies, and she has to go back home to South Carolina. Now, she has a brother. He's gay, and he is also an alcoholic. He's also kind of like shunned from the family because, like I said, very conservative family. He lives in California. So he's coming home from California. She's coming home from, I believe she lives in England, and they go home to South Carolina for the dad's wake and the funeral and like the whole, you know, the whole shebang. So this follows her personal journey with her family and kind of being the outcast in her family, and her brother also being the outcast in their relationship because they're very close. And also, the love interest in question is her brother's AA sponsor, who her brother also happens to be in love with. So a little bit messy there, but it would not be a Jessa Hastings book if it wasn't messy. But basically, she, the family, the AA sponsor, they are all in South Carolina for about 2 weeks, and they're kind of making funeral arrangements for the dad. It's a lot of arguing between her and her family. They do not get along, like I said. And then essentially one day they realize, like, they go to the reading of the will, and they realize that there's something up with the will and there's something suspicious about it. And so then they kind of go on a journey of discovery of like, what is in the will, like what does this mean, but also like personal discovery, if that makes any sense. But what I loved so much about this book was that I have never felt so seen by a female main character in my entire life. Her coming from a Southern conservative family and then having disagreeing beliefs with them, but also she was in school, in grad school, getting her master's in a psychology related field. I'm like, that's literally, you are living my life right now. And I don't know, there were a lot of aspects of this that I really related to regarding like familial dynamics and things like that. And I just, like, I genuinely felt like Jessa Hastings was like, oh, I'm gonna write Taylor, but I'm gonna put her in this book and I'm gonna name her something else. Like, that's genuinely how I felt when I read this. And Jessa Hastings, I will say this so many times, but Jessa Hastings' writing, she writes the way that my thoughts flow. Like, the way that the words are written, it's so easy for me to read because it's literally just like I'm reading my thoughts. It's so, oh my god, it's so incredible. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with the cover. I'm obsessed with everything about it. I will say this time and time again, the back reminds me of Throne of Glass. And also the guy in this, he is so obsessed with her, but like he's so mature as well. There's not really miscommunication in this whatsoever, because every single time she starts to pull away from him and it's like, oh no, like they're gonna break up, there's gonna be miscommunication, like something's gonna happen. He's like, no, you're gonna talk to me, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about this like adults. And I think that probably had a lot to do with him being a recovering alcoholic, and like he's an AA sponsor and he's gone through all of this personal growth and maturity, and I think that probably had a lot to do with it. But I was like, a Jessa Hastings book with little to no miscommunication is crazy. I love this book so much. Oh my god, I need the air again. I'm literally doing this to myself. I'm in a sweatshirt. It's 95 degrees outside. Oh my god. Anyone watching The Summer I Turned Pretty? If she doesn't end up with Conrad, I'm gonna lose my ever-loving shit. I genuinely do not understand how you can be Team Jeremiah. Like, I really don't, especially after season 3. I didn't understand how you were Team Jeremiah season 1 or season 2, but especially season 3. Especially. At the time of this video, we have 3 episodes out so far. And what? Anyway, besides the point. Now, number 2, which I really want to put for number 1 because it just really stuck with me so badly, but I think it's going to stay at number 2, is Releasing 10. I did a full spoiler and both non-spoiler reading vlog for this if you want to go watch those. This book changed my brain chemistry. This book is the heaviest book I've ever read in my entire life. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is the 6th book in the Boys of Tommen series. You have to read every single book. You cannot skip any of them. They're not interconnected. Basically, Boys of Tommen follows a group of friends, and it's literally just found family, and they each go through so much shit. It's insane, and it's one of my favorite things ever of all time. I love this series so much. The only series that Boys of Tommen is tied with for me is Throne of Glass. Like, nothing will ever beat those. Those are my top 2 of all time. Boys of Tommen is the most traumatic series ever. It is so heart-wrenching. Please check the trigger warnings if you're going to read it for every single book. Every single book in that series progressively gets darker and darker and darker. And I don't mean like dark romance. I mean like trauma. Like trauma. This book makes all of the other ones look like a walk in the park. And I will tell you so many times, check the trigger warnings for all of the others. This one is like trigger warnings on every page, and it's so heavy, but it is so important. This has a lot of representation and awareness, and that was kind of the intent of this book. If you look at the trigger warnings and you think like, that's probably not going to be for me, I'm probably not going to be able to read it, I probably wouldn't recommend reading it. Like, maybe look up spoilers. Now, this book follows Lizzie and Hughie. Lizzie is a very kind of controversial character in the Boys of Tommen fandom. You read all the other books, and Lizzie, you're like, she's kind of a bitch, and you're like, why is she acting this way? What's going on? And then you get to this and you realize why she's acting that way. And going into this, I was kind of indifferent towards her. Like, I didn't dislike her at all. I didn't love her. Like, I was just kind of like, you know, she's a side character. And from what I know about her, she's a bitch, but like, she seems like she's probably going through a lot, you know? And so I was remaining open-minded going into this, but I truly did not expect to come out of it like literally feeling like she ripped my heart out of my chest, and now like it's gonna be empty for the rest of my life until I get back with her again and she makes me whole again. Because like, what? I loved her so much, and this is one of those situations where they go through so much, but it's also so frustrating watching it at the same time, and there's just like, you feel so helpless that there's nothing you can do. And this, oh my god, and I wasn't expecting to love Hughie as much either. Like, I really did not care for Hughie that much in the first few books because of like some small things you learned about him, and so I really didn't think going into this I was gonna like him. But being in like Lizzie and Hughie's focal point, seeing Hughie be such big brother energy and just such a protector of everyone, like, I really gained a newfound respect for Hughie that I did not expect to gain. This book will forever hold a part of me. Like, I finished this came out I think May 27th. I finished this a couple days after that, and like literally have not been the same since. I won't be ever. And then finally, number 1, we have The Lies of Lena. The Lies of Lena, there are only 2 books out currently, and the last book, or the second book, ends off on the most god-awful cliffhanger, and the 3rd book is supposed to be coming out later this year, like I think she said in the fall, but I'm pretty sure she just got picked up by a traditional publisher because she's been talking about how, like, she's gonna have an announcement coming out soon, because whenever people ask about, oh, when's the next book coming out, she's like, I have some really big news soon. And usually when they say that, that means that they're being picked up by a traditional publisher, and so that means that the release date's probably going to be pushed back, and that makes me very sad. Now if that doesn't happen, thank God, hallelujah, but that's my prediction, so I'm going to be very sad if that happens. I mean, super happy for the author if that happens, but I need the next book. So this follows Lena, who is a mage, and in this world you have to keep your powers a secret because you will literally be killed if they find out about you. And one day she runs into this boy who he kind of teaches her how to fight. She's hiding his magic from him. She doesn't really know much about him, who he is or anything like that. They fall in love, and it's just the most just cute, like, wholesome friends to lovers ever, right? Wrong. So you end up going through so much trauma. There are so many time jumps. This is like royalty. It's a love triangle a little bit, but like, you know, she kind of leans towards one of them. But honestly, I loved both of them so much, and I usually hate love triangles. I loved them. I ate them up. I loved, like, genuinely, I want her to end up with both of them. I want it to be a why choose, but I know it's not going to be. A lot of people recommend this as like Throne of Glass but with spice. I think that if you like Throne of Glass and then you want something similar to that vibe and then some spice, definitely, but like they're not really super similar plots or anything. It's just the way that it made me feel was very much the way that I felt when I read Throne of Glass. I was literally gasping at every single page. The time jumps had me wanting to throw the book across the room, but like the time jumps were so important at the same time. There was betrayal, it was tension, it was so much yearning. Like, this is the perfect romantasy, and it's spicy, and oh my god, I loved it so much. Like, the pain that is felt in this book, you can feel it through the pages, but also the yearning, the tension, the love, the found family. Like, I'm just not over the betrayal, honestly. The betrayal is insane in this, and I literally could not recommend this book enough. Like, I loved it. It was so easy to read. You get into it right away. It's not one of those like it takes forever for a world to be built and everything. You get into it immediately, and it is so good. I truly was not expecting to love this as much as I did. But I randomly saw this start to pop up on TikTok, and I was like, oh, that sounds really good. And so I started it and literally could not put it down. Like, I read them in 2 days. The 2 books in 2 days. It was so good. I could not recommend these enough. So here we have my top 5 books of quarter 2 of 2025. Let me know if you've read any of these, and also let me know if what am I saying? Let me know what your top 5 of quarter 2 were, or let me know what your favorite books of the year have been so far. Let me know anything. I want to know. Tell me all the things. Okay, I'm turning the air back on now. Thank you.